But we are talking a little about winter here because it continues to pile up for us across the area, Craig.
That is for sure, Paul. We have had a lot of winters the last couple winters that really haven't been that wintry, of course. So we're going to go back and look at some of those numbers here for us. And since October 1st, we've had 45 inches of snow here in the valley. That's not that far above normal, but it is above normal by about a little over 6 inches, 6.5 inches above normal. But you can see where we were in the winter of 2024 into 25. So this time last year, only 31.6 inches. So we are down by roughly 14, 15 inches or so from this point last year since October 1st here in the valley. Now, that is for the season. And of course, we talk about that's the cold one. We'll go into talk about the winter since December 1st, because, we have these meteorological seasons. We talk about December, January, and February. So this is when we're talking overall, we're going to talk about meteorological winter when we wrap up the season and talk about the winter season so far. So this just goes back to December. We just showed you the graphic for the entire winter so far from October, but this is for the winter from December and January through January 29th, 38.6 inches of snowfall, which is about 5.4 inches above normal and still way above where we were for December and January of last year, Paul, with those numbers definitely farther away from where we've been.
Yeah, and it's also been a cold winter, at least to this point. We're running for the better part of 4 degrees plus below normal since that meteorological winter started. And it looks like we're going to continue to see those numbers just dwindle for us as we get into these record-breaking temperatures to wrap up the weekend, even into next week. Definitely going to keep adding to this as we move along. Here's a look at some cold weather statistics just for you to keep in mind as we get into this coldest air of the season. The coldest high temperature. So think about the high temperature for the day. The coldest we have been on record at the airport is -6 for a high, and that was January 19th of 1994. And of course, as you would expect, that would correlate with the coldest low temperature as well. Also on January 19th, 1994, -22 degrees below zero is the coldest temperature here in Youngstown. Now, as we look at some streaks, and we were talking about this week, and as of your Thursday morning, it broke this streak that we had going here with below normal temperatures this week. So not going to make the 6, but consecutive days at 0 or below, the record is 6. That was set back in 1936. And it ended on January 28th of that year. So it looks like that's going to continue to hold this year. We'll see how the whole winter pans out, but it's most likely not going to happen this week. 5 days at 0 or below, that happened in 1957. 1977, and back on 2015 with 5 consecutive days at 0 or below. And then looking at 4 days at 0 or below, that's happened 12 times. So, of course, the lower the number, the better the odds. And you can see the group of years there that has taken shape here locally back in 1994 also having that streak put together. And again, as far as days through a course of a year, the number of days in a given year, 1977 had 18 days at 0 or below. So some pretty impressive numbers showing up that year, and that January had 13 of those days. Now, we'll